did you know about his track record of gassing? I mean, 2009, Herbert gassed him in the semis. Yazdani gassed him first round 2012 Olympics. Did you know that track record?
For sure. I mean, I watched all those matches, so I knew that if I relentlessly attacked him and was winning the hand fight and was faking and moving my feet, that he was going to wear down a little bit. But, you know, recently I've been watching him wrestle and he hasn't been gassing much. He's just been doing a lot of winning. So I knew it was going to be a tough match, and I knew that I had to wrestle probably my absolute best to beat him.
Talk about your mindset that last minute when you were down and needed to score, and then with the push out. Talk about those couple situations. Did you know you still had criteria even after the push out?
Well, I didn't think I stepped out of bounds, but I didn't want to challenge it because I would just give him some more rest, and a guy like that is, you don't get many rest. So I knew that I had two-point moves and a push out, and I knew that he had, you know, a couple push outs and one takedown. So I was able to give up that push out and still be in the lead.
What means more, that you're a world champ or that you made history?
They both mean, I mean, they're both pretty awesome. I like making history. I want to be known as one of the greatest wrestlers to ever live, and that's what I plan on doing. But right now, probably just being the world champ feels good.
When was the first time you dreamed about being a world champion?
Probably in 2010. I didn't really know much about freestyle. Up until that point, I didn't wrestle much of it. But that's when I started kind of following the world championships and learning about these guys. And you know, once I found out that you could be declared the best wrestler in the world, that's obviously what I wanted to do.
So what was going through your mind when you put the flag around you after you had won and you got down on the mat?
Just felt really good. It just felt like you know, all the hard work and the suffering and the hours I put into the wrestling room, and you know, wrestling's not a sport where you can just go to practice and then, you know, not think about it for the rest of the day. I think about wrestling constantly. You know, always thinking about ways that I can open up opponents and score points and how to make my defense better. So it's a lot of time goes into something like this, and you know, guys like Kadisov and the other guys in my bracket are a big reason why I'm where I'm at today. I appreciate them, and I know that without them pushing me to become a better wrestler, that I probably would have never done this.
Foregoing your senior year, moving to the OTC, how huge was that for you and your success now?
I tell people all the time, you know, if you have the opportunity to do that, that's what you should do. I got the chance to wrestle, you know, overseas a couple times, get a couple foreign feels, along with wrestling some of the best Americans that we have to offer, and getting some of the best coaches, you know, Coach Slay and Coach Zadig, and being surrounded by, you know, Zeke Jones back then. It was just a great experience, and definitely helped me become a better wrestler.
You were eligible to compete at the Junior Worlds this year. There are athletes at this event who have competed in both. Competed a few weeks ago. Talk about your decision to focus exclusively on winning a Senior World title.
Well, I asked Coach Burnett if I could wrestle in both, and he just told me no. So I can't really talk back to Coach Burnett. He's been doing it for a long time, so he knows a thing or two about the sport. But it would have been fun to wrestle in it because I didn't you know, win it last year. But focusing strictly on the seniors, you know, was just as fun because I love the training, I love the process of becoming a better wrestler, and it was a great summer of wrestling, and it felt good to cap it off with a win.
You mentioned just picking up freestyle seriously here a few years ago. There's a lot of talk in the United States about how difficult it is for us to catch up with these other countries that wrestle exclusively freestyle all the way out. Give your perspective on that now, sitting here as a world champ.
I just think that it's important. You know, the guys who wrestle folk style now, I think it's important that you know, you obviously have to wrestle freestyle a little bit. You have to, you know, once you're done folk style, you have to start training that in the summer. But really, it's just surrounding yourself with the right people, the right freestyle minds, and you know, listening to what they say, trying to learn as much as you can, and you know, you can make that switch from freestyle to folk style, I think, pretty quickly. But
Kyle, I guess you've hinted at it, but did you feel you'd been wearing Gaddisov down towards the end of the match?
I did. I felt like, you know, my fakes and got his hands to the mat with my snaps, was wearing him down a little bit. But, you know, he's a good wrestler. He's good when he's tired. He trains, you know, hard, I would guess. He beats a lot of good people, so I knew it was going to be hard to score him when he was tired. But getting him there definitely helped me get that last takedown.
Jordan Burroughs made his name on a double. Are you making your name on that hill pick or low single, whatever you want to call it?
Maybe, but hopefully next year I can develop another shot and shoot that one. So we just keep developing different moves and keep hitting different people with different stuff.
Why is it so effective though?
Just because I think it's the shot that I value the most. It's the shot that I spend a lot of time developing in the room, and when I see myself wrestling in my head, it's the shot that I envision myself hitting on the best people in the world.
2016 target on your back now, defending champ, going into Rio. You obviously got to make the team. We know that, and we have an Olympic gold medalist at the weight. But talk about your relationship with Tervel Delagnev, J.D. Bergman. You know, training at the Ohio RTC at Ohio State University.
Right.
What has that been like for you?
JD and Tervel are in this room right now, so that's pretty cool. But it's been awesome. Those guys push me to become better wrestlers every day, and you know, especially with me and JD being in the same weight class, he was there for me all summer. You know, anytime I needed to work out, anytime I you know, needed someone to talk to or anything like that, he was there for me. And we don't just talk about wrestling, you know. These guys are my best friends, so we talk about, you know, a lot of other stuff. So thank you very much for that. And then Tervel, you know, I think he's one of the best wrestling minds that America has to offer. The way he can communicate things in the sport of wrestling, and you know, just any topic that we talk about, for some reason just gets, you know, stuck right in my mind. And I believe everything he says. Just got to try to keep growing and keep listening to these guys. They've been through a lot of stuff, a lot more stuff than I have. They've been wrestling for a longer time than I have been. But over at the Ohio RTC, we just have an amazing coaches, amazing training partners, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Speaking of that, to piggyback off of it, it's going to be really hard to go back to Ohio State after you win. You know, you win this. You're going to win the Olympic gold medal. I only assume you know that. It's going to be real hard to go back to Ohio State. How are you going to do that? Are you going to do that?
Plan on doing it. Plan on going back to Ohio State, and you know, wrestling's hard too. So if I can wrestle the best guys in the world, then I should be able to go to class a couple times a day.
Absolutely. And do your homework.
Yeah. Homework's no fun, but getting a degree is fun. Getting a good job after college is fun. So.
Kyle, your parents aren't here. Can you talk about that year when you decided to leave home? What it did to your family, what it did for you, leaving your family?
It was hard at first. You know, when I first got to the Olympic Training Center, it was the 2013 World Team was there, the senior World Team. So it was like heaven for me. I was able to wrestle with all those guys, get to talk to those guys, eat with those guys. My dad was there for the first week or so. He slept on my floor on a blow-up mattress. So it was nice having them there and having some of my best friends there. But then once they left, it was kind of just me for a little while. So got a little homesick. But then after that, I just, you know, started to adapt to the situation that I was in, and the wrestling was great. The people I was surrounded by were great, and it was a good choice going out there.
Other than leaving your parents, what else did you give up that you missed, that you felt like you missed? Some of my good friends went to the high school that I was at Maryland, so I gave up hanging out with them and doing some of that other stuff. But really, you know, when wrestling's my favorite thing to do, so I don't really see it as I gave up too much. I just think that it was the right decision for me to go out there and train, and it helped me improve as a wrestler, made me a better person, and made me obviously winning this world title was really fun. So hanging out with my friends is fun, but this was pretty cool. This was fun.
Anything else, guys?
Anything, Coach